Ctas brought to you by IntR3 Motorcycles, and Nick Cameron out of pole position gets a great start. Better Gage Brown on the Supermoto. He also finds himself right up the sharp end as they turn into turn one, but it's Nick Cameron out. The man from IntR3 Motorcycles himself, he is flying on the awesome Husqvarna Vitpillen, and they go into the up and over, and there we go with he's won 2 from 2 so far, and he's already in charge of this one. Nick Cameron out, Bennett Gage Brown there in a brilliant second place, the first of our Supermoto bikes. So we've got 2 classes out there in one, and bit of trouble there from our man number 60, Connor Rogers there, so he gets away on the ATM 690, but unfortunate bike problems means he's well back already. So Nick Cameron out of turn 9, and in charges on Bennett Gage Brown on the Husqvarna Supermoto 450. He finds himself there in second place with Phil Duthie. Vaughan Main got a good start, David Lewis, Daniel Hendy, and Daniel Christensen, just some of the guys that are up in that little pack there fighting it out for 3rd, 4th and 5th position. You've also got Supermoto bikes in with the intermediates, and awesome to see Bennett Gage Brown in the Supermoto class and mixing it right up there, second place in the last moto. He's running a second at the moment. Here we go, we've got Nick Cameron out, Bennett Gage Brown. So great start from this time around. Brian Ashdown, he's on that old 1988 TZ250. Phil Duthie's in there, and David Christensen, a couple of the Ducati F1 engineering boys there, 5th and 16. David Lewis, he's the second of our Supermoto guys out there. Daniel Hendy on the SV650 twin, and Nigel Lennox, he's on a ZX400. He's in 9th place at the moment. And then we've got Connor Rogers. He got the bike bogged down on the start line, but he's managed to get it going. So one down at 2, I'm not sure who that was, but they're up and okay. So here we go with Nick Cameron out in charge of this one, and flying at the moment. So Bennett Gage Brown, you can still see the Supermoto bike there in second place with Vaughan Main. What a great ride from Vaughan. This is on 3rd place, and right on the back wheel of Ben Gage Brown. So we'll have a look at this gap. The gap was only half a second when they crossed the line last time around. We'll keep an eye on that one. Nick Cameron out, he's got a massive advantage. He's out and gone at the moment, so to go with his 2 wins, he's already dominating this one as well. The 3rd and final IntR3 Motorcycles intermediate race. So Nick Cameron out crosses the line, 1:15.6, which is good going for that Vitpillen machine, a 701 single-cylinder Husqvarna engine. It's an awesome motorcycle. You have to have a look at it. And we see the change for second place before Main going up in a second again. Just 0.4 of a second in there. So interesting to see different lines that the Supermoto takes next to the likes of the 650 twin of Vaughan. So we'll have a look at that one there. Vaughan Main in charge of second place, just over Bennett Gage Brown. They're in the up and over and out of there. So Vaughan doing a good job, just trying to stretch out a little bit. So great riding into turn 8, the right hand hairpin high pull, not quite close enough for Bennett to argue back. So Vaughan doing a good job there, holding down second place. 4th place for David Christensen there on the Ducati Monster, the 696 F1 engineering machine. There you go back to David Lewis on the Supermoto bike. He's in 5th. Daniel Hendy and Nigel Lennox 6th and 7th. With Phil Duthie there, had to come into the pit, so he's got bike problems unfortunately. And Connor Rogers still out there on the KTM Duke 690. So we see Nick Cameron out of turn 10, the sweeper, and start his climb up the hill. Then the battle for second, still neat and tidy out of there for Vaughan Main. So there is nothing in that battle there. Vaughan Main, Bennett Gage Brown, 2 different classes, but less than a second between them on the track. Across the line in second place with Ben Gage Brown, just on a second, 1.4 seconds back now. So that gap has drifted out a little bit, and Vaughan took it over a second off Bennett just in that last lap there. David Christensen, he's in 4th place. He's lapping the 1:19.7, so that's his fastest lap of the race. Then you go to David Lewis on the second of the Supermoto bikes. He also just put his fastest time in. And then you see that back to Daniel Hendy and Nigel Lennox, nothing in that little gap. 5th, 6th and 7th. A great little battle on the track at the moment as we check out Nick Cameron out, the man from Morrinsville on the IntR3 Motorcycles Vitpillen. Brilliant stuff to see him out and doing it. So he's out of turn 9 and on the run to the sweeper. Then Vaughan Main, he's in second place on the SV650 Pro Twin machine. Then go back to Bennett Gage Brown, the first of our Supermoto guys. He's on the Husqvarna. So great stuff to see Ben Gage Brown there. David Christensen on the Ducati Monster in 4th place. So the top 4 have sort of stretched themselves out, spread out a little bit. But then you go back to this awesome battle, David Lewis, Daniel Hendy and Nigel Lennox. Nigel Lennox just sneaks up the inside of Daniel there. So a change for 6th place. Nigel Lennox sneaks up the inside. As we see Nick still making it 16.5.7 last time around. Vaughan May now up in a second and stretch out that advantage to 3 seconds over Bennett Gage Brown. So 7 seconds between first and second in similar lap time. So with only 2 laps to go, Nick Campenhout well and truly in control of this one. Vaughan May and then Bennett Gage Brown, David Christensen. Engineering Ducati Monster. That's a great machine to keep an eye on. 71 on the bike for David Christensen. David Lewis, Nigel Lennox, Daniel Hendy. There's only half a second between those 3 guys, but that's going to be a great little battle to keep our eyes on. With 2 laps to go, Connor Rogers still out there on the Duke 690. He's coming out of turn 10 and up the hill now, so he had unfortunate problems on the start line, but he's lapping in the 122, so he's definitely slowly catching those guys, but he's about to run out of time. He's got 2 laps to go. Nick Campenhout is now into turn 10 and coming up the hill already, so the white flag ready and waiting for Nick, and great to see the NV Motorcycles, Vit Pillen there out in front of the NV Motorcycles supported intermediate Supermoto race. So there we go with Nick, doesn't improve his lap time, still in the 1:16.9, so well and truly in control of this one. The white flag out, 1 lap to go. Then we go back to 1:16.9 as well, so can't take anything out of that lead. It's still at 7.2 seconds. Ben Gage Brown there, back another 4.8 seconds, so the first 3 are pretty much set in stone. There's 12 seconds between them, and then you go back to 4th place with David Christensen. He's a further 10 seconds back, so that top 4 have sorted themselves out, but the next battle to keep our eyes on is this one here with David Lewis, Nigel Lennox and Daniel Hendy. A great little freeway fight coming up the front straight now. So we cross the line with David just getting pit by Nigel, so there's only 0.3 of a second between all 3 of them. So Nigel Lennox just snuck up, and David Lewis there in 6th place, and 7th to Daniel Hendy. So there we go, all on. We'll keep an eye on that one because we've seen that our main man Nick Campenhout, he's 1-2 already. He's well and truly in control of this one. He is down and in control. Turn 9 and on his way in through the sweeper. Vaughan Main and Ben Gage Brown there with David Christensen. So that's your top 4 guys all set. Pretty much how you go. So up the hill and checkered flag time for Nick Campenhout. He will win. The man from Orangeville takes 3 from 3 today in the intermediate class. And a dominant performance. Vaughan Main saved his best result to last with a 2nd place finish. A great start from Vaughan. He comes through in 3rd place with the first of our Supermoto guys. So that's a great result from the Hamilton man on the NV Motorcycles Husqvarna. David Christensen, the F1 Engineering Ducati Monster, comes through in 4th place. That's good stuff from Dave, and BSF Racing Pirelli tyres all on board with him. But then this gap here, look at this one, the 3-way fight. Nigel Lennox ahead of Daniel Hendy and Dave Lewis in there as well, so we'll keep an eye on this one. There's nothing in it. Nigel Lennox slightly ahead. Nigel Lennox across the line ahead of Daniel Hendy, and then Dave Lewis there, 5th, 6th and 7th place, all separated by 0.36 of a second, and that was like that for most of that race. So brilliant stuff from those 3 guys. Nice, clean, fun racing. The NV Motorcycle Intermediate Racing.